My name is Nuala O'Connor and I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about rebounding and some safety issues when you're rebounding as well. Some tips too, just for the crack. One very important thing is to make sure that your rebounder is safe and that you're safe on it. And if you may see from where you are right now that there's a glass down there beside the rebounder, placed deliberately to show you it's not where to put it. The best thing to do, and it's great to have water while you're rebounding, is to put that glass away from the rebounder. You don't want any accidents. There's a small table here as well. Again, too close. Now, if you are somebody who needs support generally, it might be a good idea to buy a bar, a support bar for your rebounder. And most manufacturers of rebounders do have those bars available to buy. I don't need that, so I'm fine. But if another thing that I would do sometimes is I would place my rebounder beside a wall. That way I have something to lean onto if I need to. And if you are very unsteady on your feet, perhaps you would have somebody near you as you rebound, just in case if you don't have a bar or you can't get near a wall. But for safety purposes, I'm not going to go near the wall, because the best thing for a rebounder is you don't go near the wall, you don't go near anything. You have a clear space for your rebounder. Now, it's also very important that you clean your rebounder regularly, because as you rebound on it, you know, if there's any dirt or dust on your feet, it gets on the rebounder, and you don't want to slip or slide on your rebounder. There's a good surface, they're made to hold you in your trainers. So keep it that way, and so clean it, keep it clean. I have a sort of a dust cloth here, just gently rebound it. In fact, sometimes I would actually vacuum the top of my rebounder, but I wouldn't do that too often because I don't want to damage the rebounder either. I do it very lightly. So make sure you do that. How to get on and off the rebounder is also very important. You literally step on and step off. Now, I'm a devil for this one. I actually quite often will step on and step off, but you just don't want to aggravate anything and cause any sort of injury to yourself after being on the rebounder, and you know, you're getting used to rebounding. How are your muscles coping with it? So the best thing to do, as I said, is literally to step on that way and step off. Put your hands on your hips if you want to get a little bit more balance there. Just step on and step off. Back to the rebounder. As I said, mine is a FitBounce Pro. I'm going to lift it up just to show you. My rebounder, the legs can fold in, and a lot of rebounders, they either screw on or screw off or fold in. If your legs screw on, screw off, it's good practice before you rebound to tighten them, twist them tight, just to make sure they're all tight, because they can come a little bit loose. The other thing with this rebounder is to make sure that they are on, that you know, they click in like that they're not half on, half off. And if you've had it folded up, make sure that they click in before you. Let me show you. It's quite a strong. So that's it folded down, as you can see. Make sure that it's in. You fold it up, and you hear that click. Okay, good and sturdy. This rebounder has really good rubber shoes on it, and make sure they are not worn if your rebounder has been away for a while, because again, that's what's keeping you steady on the floor. Now it will move a little bit, and that's why you need a little bit of space around you when you rebound, in case it does move on your floor, depending on the surface that you're rebounding on. But make sure the rubber is good on the base, and you can replace those rubbers, so make sure they're good and strong. Also, in this rebounder, because it folds, there are two catches on it, so I want to make sure that that's in tight before I rebound it. The clip is in, well engaged on both sides. Yep, definitely in. And then make sure your rebounder is steady and firm on the surface. You know, some floors, even wooden floors, can be a little bit loose, some of the clips. So just make sure, just bring it about and make sure that it's steady on the floor. So that's the rebounder. What do you wear when you're rebounding? Now, some people like to wear the socks, you know, like the grip socks that you can buy. I have found, because of things like plantar fasciitis and too tight, you know, the muscles getting too tight, that it's good to have a support for your feet while you're rebounding, especially the older you are, because it keeps you steady. So I would definitely recommend wearing a pair of trainers. These are Air Max, a treat for Christmas. But they've got a good grip on the bottom of them. You know, I feel the grip on the rebounder. So even if you're wearing trainers, check the grip on the bottom of them to make sure that you're not sliding on the rebounder when you get up onto it. I have rebounded in my ordinary shoes, certainly not heels. I don't wear heels. But you know, my ordinary Clark's pair of shoes, you know, they're quite flat and they've got a good surface on the bottom of them too. But any shoes I get on the rebounder with, I would check. I also have rebounded in my bare feet. I definitely would do that from time to time, and I would wear the non-slip socks. But don't get on the rebounder in your tights because that's slippy. The silk is slippy, and don't get on it in an ordinary pair of socks. That would be dangerous. But I do recommend wearing the shoes, especially as you get a little bit more into it and you're on the balls of your feet. Now, what can happen when you're rebounding on the balls of your feet is that you can feel the heat coming into them, and you'll feel a bit of tension sometimes, and it's not actually tension, it's the circulation. It's not used to circulating so much, so you can actually feel that in your feet. It will pass after a while of rebounding, so just try and bear with it if you can. The other thing I always say is, you may not notice it sometimes in my videos, but you bend into your knees when you're rebounding. You try to stay mostly on the balls of your feet. Now, I talk about the walking motion, so you come from your heel to your foot, but most of the pressure is on the ball of your feet. You lean slightly forward, not much, but slightly forward when you're doing this basic, and your head is up as much as possible, as in not up here, but you're looking sort of forward. Now, see, when you're on the balls of your feet, and again then when you're bounding, your knees will be bent, your back will be slightly forward, and that just supports your lower back. Be also aware of your tummy muscles. It's no harm to tuck them just a little bit, because that also supports the back. Now, that's the slight motion you're going to be doing in the basic program. It does develop in the intermediate program, but in the basic program, this is what you're doing. Just slight like that, and then a walking motion like that. I have the hands by the side. I'll even get you sometimes when you're bounding to put the hands up and around to increase the lymphatic drainage around the upper body. But that's it, okay? And you bound into it. You're bounding down in rebounding. You're not jumping up. It's not a trampoline. You're bounding down, okay? So you're bounding down like that, and then you've got a walking motion. That's in the basic program. And remember, you do what you can do. You step on and you step off. There's the step on and there's the step off. Feel yourself on the rebounder as well. Get used to your parameters. Even in the motion of stepping on and stepping off, you're already engaging, would you believe it or not, all your muscles, because it's not a firm foundation. So immediately your whole body is saying, okay, you need to steady up here. Even that is improving your brain to body connection, because they're all starting to work a little bit. As I said, if you need, have a wall beside you, you can put your hand on your wall just to stay steady, especially for the first while, because all you're doing is this. But you don't want to keep that hand there purely because you don't want to cause any sort of strain down your shoulders. And equally, if you have a bar, you don't want to be holding onto that bar all the time. You don't want to get into the habit of that, purely because, again, you're going to pull your arms, because they're staying steady as the rest of your body is moving, and that will cause tension down your arms. You don't want that. You want to get those arms moving as well. So use the basic program, use the first number of weeks of it to get steady on the rebounder and to build your stamina. And when the muscles start to tone in here and they start to work together, and your brain and your body starts to work that little bit more together, you're going to grow in confidence standing on the rebounder. Your stamina is going to improve, your energy is definitely going to improve. And gradually your lymphatic system is clearing, and you're just going to love it. So by week 9, 10, 11, you're going to be steady on the rebounder. You won't need any supports. And that's the key thing around rebounding, okay? It's clearing your lymphatic system, it's working all your muscles, but you're staying safe in the process. So we've talked about water drinking, but keeping it away from the rebounder. We've talked about keeping your space clear around the rebounder. We've talked about what shoes to wear when you're rebounding. I've even shown you the initial moves, the basic Rebound for Wellness program moves, and what they're like, the mechanics of them. And that's really all I want to talk to you about today. If you have any questions about this program, or any questions about how you're getting on, if you feel, gosh, I could move on that little bit faster, do, if you're able for it, as in you might spend 3 days on a week and then go up to the next week, but not at the first basic week or two, because remember, you're engaging your lymphatic system at a totally new level now, and you want that to be safe for you, and you want this to become your best form of exercise. So don't push it too fast, too hard, too quick. Trust me on that. Take it gently, take it slowly, and enjoy the process. That's all I'd like to say to you today. I did say there now that then after, say, week 5, week 6, if you feel I could do 7 and 8, you know, you want to do 7 minutes, you want to move on to 8 minutes, and you want to do that within 3 or 4 days of each other, see how you go. But try as much as possible to keep those first few weeks strictly to the program, at least until week 5, because then you've got your lymphatic system totally engaged. You're up to 5 minutes. 5 minutes gets that system working. The rest of the time then you're building your tone, you're building your confidence, you're doing everything else. What's not to like about rebounding? Any questions, please contact me at nuala@retuningme.com, or you can leave a review of the program on the website. And you could go to my Facebook page and like and follow the Rebound for Wellness page, because that then keeps you up with videos that that I post every now and again, encouraging videos, etc., etc., etc. Okay, that's all I got to say today. Have a fabulous day, and thanks for choosing Rebound for Wellness.